Yo, what's going on YouTube? Jen Moses here back with another My Team video. Now this video is going to be a bit of a different video than I would usually make here on the Broth Cindy YouTube channel. But one that um, I think it's important for me to kind of share because um, I've seen so many different opinions, not just related to what happened this morning, which we will cover very briefly, but what the resolution or what the outcome should be after um, a major error happened this morning. And I think, the way we describe this is very important. I've seen the word glitch thrown around, and funny enough, the people that are pushing back the hardest against this being called a glitch are the people that engaged with this error, which they are not to blame. I want to get that out first and foremost. But let's talk about exactly what it is that I'm talking about. And that is the Paul George card that you can see on the screen right here. Was available via the deal of the day about 16 hours ago. And his original price, at least as of right now, because he's dropped in value since he came out in October, was 140,000 MT. I believe what 2K meant to do was make him 70K MT. And I say that because 70K is half price of the 140K, obviously. And unless I'm mistaken, I've not been checking every single deal of the day, but I've not seen a deal of the day go under 50% of its market value at that current time. So 70K made sense for me. And then when you factor in the fact that the quick sell value for a sellable Paul George at 140K is 57,000 MT, I believe, give or take, a few hundred MT, making it a 70K MT card makes sense. And I think even at that value, it was a really, really good buy at the 70K. When Paul George first dropped in October, I believe he was either the second or third diamond that was available in the player market. And so he was going for that 273K, 450, somewhere around there, price tag. And even when he came out then, I was considering getting him. Not because I wanted the Diamond Magic Johnson, who was the lock-in for this collection, or the freaky Giannis Antetokounmpo. I didn't really care for any of those cards. But Paul George, for me and my team, in my career playing my team, has always been one of my favorite players. And the fact that they made this card shooting guard eligible back in October, for me, made him almost a must-have, except for the fact that at that point in time, I didn't really have the MT stack like that. And I couldn't justify spending 273K MT on a Diamond Paul George when I had, I believe, a week or two before that, recently spent a solid amount of MT completing the collections for the Diamond Carmelo Anthony from the Liftoff collection, and then the Amethyst Kawhi Leonard from, was he Perfect Build? I want to say Perfect Build. So I already had two wings that I had already invested a good amount of MT on, and sure, I could have put Paul George in at the shooting guard, but, I just wasn't really feeling it. Anyways, that's a long roundabout way for me to get to what happened to Paul George today, which was his deal of the day price being listed at 30,000 MT. Now, naturally, given what I told you, you would think that, okay, well, if I buy this card for 30,000 MT and then sell it, it's going to be a 27K MT profit, and you could just keep doing that over and over and over again. Assuming you don't have Paul George already as an unsellable card, or a card that's, locked in because you did the freaky collection, at least for the Magic Johnson, if not the Diamond Giannis Antetokounmpo. And so a lot of people ended up doing that. Now, I don't know exactly how many, but what makes this error, or I guess the whole situation from this morning kind of tricky is, we had a similar situation, and it's only similar not in the profitability, but in terms of what happened, which was an error on 2K's part leading to a player coming available on the player market for very, very cheap. Earlier this month, I believe roughly 3 weeks ago, we had the NBA Season Rewind Diamond Collection Rewards, Rudy Gobert and Kyle Kuzma, become available in the player market for 1,000 MT, which is crazy, but that was only available for 10 minutes or so, I believe. This glitch went on from 3 a.m. Eastern time until, I want to say 7 or I don't know about 8 a.m., but at least 7 a.m. because I had gotten up and was getting ready to possibly have to go in for work today, and I didn't even look on Twitter. I just fired up and I was gonna see which one of my exhibitions had completed so that I could redeem it before work. And then I went to go look at the deal of the day because yesterday's deal of the day was the Amethyst Nick Young, and I got that Nick Young card because I got the Russell Westbrook diamond from the locker code, and I want to work towards the pink diamond D'Antoni, from the video that I made yesterday, and I talked about that. So I naturally went to go and look today, and I see that Diamond Paul George is available for 30,000 MT. And so I bought him once, and then 5 minutes later happened to go on Twitter, and I saw then that you could sell him for a 27K profit. Now, I did not do that. Those of you that have been watching my Team videos lately, you would know I'm going to back there just to show you. My MT is still 2.3 million MT. I've not bought anybody besides Paul George since my most recent videos. And I didn't buy Paul George more than once because I was afraid of getting banned, basically. I spent so much time this season grinding out clutch time offline for the dream. And if I were to have lost this account or lost all my MT that I earned from playing clutch time offline on my way to 500 wins for this pink diamond Akeem Olajuwon, I'd be pretty upset. That just is not something that I was interested in. I didn't need the MT. Also, the way the Kuzma and Rudy Gobert locker code situation, or not locker code, the way that whole situation with them being put on the player market sort of worked out. The people that kept their MT from getting those cards and then I believe selling them, and they kept their MT liquid, those people ended up losing all their MT. But the people that took the MT that they made and turned that MT into completing collections and then locking in those collections, those players were not touched. And so what I saw a lot of this morning were people that were engaging with this error, this pricing error on Paul George, and then taking the MT that they got from it and then locking in the entire test season collection for Pink Diamond Kobe, and you get all the ancillary parts, right? You get the Wembanyama, the Penny, the all the great diamonds from the Tista season present collection, like the D-Book, the Kawhi, the AD. I'm sure they got Pink Diamond Giannis too. I wasn't really looking at lineups like that. But they basically locked in for every single major collection. And why not, right? You're logging onto my team and you're seeing this very easy exploit. I mean, all you had to do was to go to your collection, right? Go to season 2, go to Freaky, go to Paul George, and you click on this, you sell them for 57,820, and then pretend this is Paul George. You would just, right after you sell them, you press A or X if you're on PlayStation, and then you go to the right and you just buy it again for 30K, and then you just repeat over and over again until you hit whatever amount of MT your heart desires, and people hit some ludicrous amounts of MT. I mean, anywhere from, I saw 5 mil, I saw up to 19 or 20 million MT. And, I'm not sure if that MT amount was after that particular individual locked in for all of these special inserts or lock-in rewards, or if it was after. But regardless, I know a lot of people locked in for these top-end meta cards because based off the last glitch, or last exploit or error that happened about 3 weeks ago with the Kuzma and the Gobert, the cards that were locked in were not touched. And I just don't know if that's going to happen this time around. Obviously, the big winner in all this, as of right now, are the people who were bold enough to gamble, and also the ones that were on my team right now as well, right? But if you were on my team, you saw that deal of the day, Paul George for 30K, and you were bold enough to risk your account getting banned or your coins getting wiped, those players, as of right now, are the big winners, because right now they have all this MT, and they got MT really, really cheaply. I mean, I played, 40 plus hours of clutch time offline to get a little over 1 million MT, and people got 1 million MT in like less than 5 minutes from this glitch. So like that's a little frustrating as someone who who played the game, but I'm not mad at them, right? If you saw that deal and you weren't worried about potentially getting banned, more power to you. You know, I'm not here to take 2K side or anything. That's not what I'm here to do at all. I just obviously, naturally, I'd be lying to you if I was just saying like, oh yeah, you know, it's totally fine. Like, I'm not upset at the people who engaged in the glitch, but obviously for the people that spent either a lot of money on packs or on the players from the player market to complete these collections, or the people like myself who put a good amount of time in this season to earn MT, I guess I could call it organically just from playing the game, right? You spend all this time this season grinding out MT via your wallet or via your time, and then you see people who are able to get MT, you know, in buckets very easily over the course of 3-4 hours. It's naturally a little frustrating, but you know, I guess I technically could have had the option to maybe engage with that price era Paul George for like, I don't know how much longer he was available for after I logged on around 7 a.m. But I didn't do it, and I'm totally cool with my decision. I mean, I think me getting Paul George for 30K alone is great. The biggest losers, naturally, like I mentioned, are the people like myself who spent a lot of time, or the people who spent a lot of money to get MT or to get these meta players. I also think, you know, I've seen a lot of people come out and say that Unlimited is going to be unplayable now, and I think, you know, the funny thing is, I think already in Unlimited, the majority of that player base had all the meta cards. Unlimited very quickly this year became a game mode that wasn't for the casuals. And, you know, it's not that getting all these top end players makes your team a top end like squad. You know, you could have really good players, but if you aren't good at my team, you're going to get exposed. And I've seen a lot of people on the My Team subreddit complain about how they're going into Unlimited and they're playing against people who have these god squads, but because they don't know how to use the Kobe or the Wemby, they're resorting to, you know, holding triangle or Y on Xbox and having backdoor cuts happen to them every single play, which I think is absolutely hilarious. So I don't think Unlimited is going to be any more sweaty. I think if anything, you're going to have more, not more casuals, but more people that aren't really big online players playing Unlimited right now. And I think that, if anything, could be better for the game potentially. But obviously, when you have such a big exploit happen in the game, it's not healthy for the integrity of the game mode. Both My Team and Unlimited, I'm talking about. Now, I think the big question here is, how are you going to fix this if you're 2K? Because, you know, you have to put yourself in 2K's shoes, right? In Take-Two or Visual Concepts shoes, and think about who from the My Team community does 2K care about the most. And, you know, if you were to ask me, I would tell you that they're paying customers, right? The ones that spend, I would say the ones that spend money more so on the higher end, not just people like myself who, so far through 3 seasons, I've only purchased the Pro Pass for $10 every single season. And, you know, that's $30, probably more than I usually spend in My Team. But there are people that'll go out and they spent, you know, 4 times or however many more times that in this, you know, in this season alone, just for that Pink Diamond Kobe Bryant. And they want to keep those people happy. And right now, if you're one of those people and, you know, you're logging on, you know, Twitter this morning and you see that people were able to get the cards that you spent, however much Kobe Bryant spent, for $125, $150, you spent all this money, and that's assuming that you only spent that money on the players from the player market. They didn't spend additional money on packs before giving up and going to the player market. To see all these people this morning have just as good of a lineup, if not better a lineup than you, basically for free, all because of 2K's blunder this morning, I could see how that could unmotivate people that spend money on this game to think, well, why am I going to put money into a platform that's so unreliable that I can't trust, right? If they're going to now have 2 mess ups in a 3-week span, and, you know, really not hurt their pockets, but it's going to hurt their ability to feel secure in putting money into the game. Because for a lot of people, I totally get it, right? My team is a hobby of mine. I just don't really spend money on it like that because, you know, for me, I just don't see why I would spend major money on a game where, you know, every year it resets, right? If I were to, I'm not going to play my team next year more than likely, but if I were to, none of the players I have on my team are going to come over to my team next year. And that's really frustrating. That's one of the biggest reasons why I never understand why people spend so much money on the game, but that's fine. It's not my money that they're spending, so it's not my problem. I can't do it. And if you can do it and you have the money to do it, more power to you. I just don't have that sort of, financial bandwidth to do that. But yeah, kind of went off on a tangent there. I think 2K prioritizes and they value the paying consumer the most. And so I feel like the safest option for 2K from a PR standpoint, and I don't know how feasible this is going to be because they're out of the office. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name incorrectly, but Herb Scribner, he's a reporter or columnist for the Washington Post. He put out a series of tweets today. He tried to reach out to, I think, the 2K senior communications manager, and she did not get back to him. So he's been trying his best to try and get in contact with 2K for some sort of statement because they haven't acknowledged anything that's happened on Twitter today. And so we'll see. They're not going to be back in the offices until next Monday, January the 8th. So they're not going to be back for what is that? Today's Tuesday, so 13 more days. And we may not see any ramifications for people engaging in this, I guess we can call it an exploit, until then. And so I think the most fair thing that 2K could do if they were to get on top of this sooner would be to, go through the accounts that exploited this glitch. And you can even go to my account because I paid for Paul George once. I'd be happy if you remove the Paul George from my account and give me back the 30K MT. That's fine. Paul George is a fun card to have, but I'm not going to be heartbroken if they take my one Paul George purchase away from me. I'll be fine. I have the MT. If I really want to go buy him, I'll buy him. I was just saving my MT for, a Pink Diamond KD or something like that. But when I see Paul George for 30K, I figured why not buy him? Because, I could literally quick sell him now and I'll make the MT that, I spent on him and then some. But I think what 2K should do is go back to anyone who either purchased a Paul George or purchased and then resold him at least once. They should go back and refund everyone their, not refund, but return their MT amounts back to where it was, and then remove all the players that they earned with that dirty money through collections. So the Pink Diamond Kobe and everything else from that test season collection set gone, and then give everyone a a locker code for a diamond sellable Paul George. And sellable is the key term here for me because if you make him unsellable, you're going to have the same issue people had yesterday with the diamond locker code, where if they had one of those 6 players from that locker code unsellable and the ball drop landed in the bucket with that same player, they only ended up leaving that locker code with 800 to 1000 MT, which is nothing. If you make the Paul George sellable, then that'll at least give, people that don't have him the opportunity to basically sell him for 57K. And if they do have him, you still have the option to do so, but you can also just keep him too. So I think that would make the most sense. They already gave us a diamond locker code with Kuzma and Rudy Gobert in the past. Paul George is an infinitely better player than both of those players, but Paul George is also a player who's roughly 2 months old. So I don't think 2K would have any issue with giving us a player from 2 months ago when we're getting agendas that are going to lead to us getting a diamond Shaq card who was available 3 months ago. So at least that's what I think would make the most sense. It doesn't really hurt anybody. I think that's much healthier than the other option, which would be 2K taking what they would maybe find as the easy route and just banning everybody who bought and then sold a Paul George. That's my fear, especially with them being out of the offices for another 2 weeks or so, roughly, is, it's frustrating because I've seen my team community members get banned in years past for things like sniping and stuff like that. Maybe they did other things too, but it could also just be for sniping. I feel like if there is a way for you to make MT without either playing the game or spending money on the game. 2K is going to find a way to ban you, I feel like. Now, okay, that's kind of harsh. Let me not say that. But 2K could find a way to ban you. They're not, what I'm trying to say is they don't need a justified humanitarian reason to strip you of your account privileges. If they see that you do something that could be a violation of terms of service, even if it's because they put the wrong price in the player market, they can still look at that as, oh, you took advantage of an exploit. That's the whole reason why I only bought Paul George once, you know? Like, I was afraid even of quick selling him and getting that 27k MT back because I didn't want 2K to think, you know, oh, okay, he's buying and then quick selling, you know, like a lot of other people that did it. So that's my biggest fear, is that 2K bans people for doing that. I think if they're gonna ban anything, they should ban the alternate accounts, because there are people who, because they had Paul George locked in for that Diamond Magic Johnson collection, they had to create an alternate account in order to get involved in this exploit, because you couldn't engage with that deal today Paul George if you already had Paul George unsellable on your team, or in your collection, I should say. The last thing I'll leave you guys with here is sorry to talk as much about 2K. I needed a little bourbon to get me through the video. The one thing I'll leave you guys with is, I don't think this glitch is going to be the end of the world at all. I think temporarily we're gonna feel a lot of pain if, and by we I mean the people that maybe want to play unlimited. I don't play unlimited really. Even salary cap. I tried to play one game of salary cap and I played against somebody who had like all these diamonds that are so cheap right now, and they more than likely bought all of them today, which is a little annoying. But a lot of the people who invested or engaged in this exploit this morning invested the MT that they earned into these collections for these players, like I mentioned earlier in the video, so that their MT wouldn't be liquid, because from the last glitch, again, or exploit as I mentioned before, 2K only eliminated the excess MT that you got from the glitch. They didn't touch your players that you locked in. And so if 2K were to do the same thing, like let's just assume that, right? Like 2K comes into the offices Monday, January the 8th, and they don't ban anybody, they don't take any of their players away. All they do is they take away whatever additional MT was left somehow. I don't know how they would do that. From the accounts of the people that engaged in that exploit. If they do that, honestly, a month from now, 6 weeks from now, not that the Pink Diamond Kobe is going to be outdated. That Pink Diamond Kobe Bryant's a really, really good card. But we're going to be getting better shooting guards. Just to name, you know, we're talking about Kobe Bryant. We still have Pink Diamond Tracy McGrady, who's going to be coming into the game, and I think he's going to be better than Kobe. If you don't get him as a Pink Diamond, we'll get him as an Opal, and by the time Opal come around, you know, these lineups are not going to be nearly as, you know, as fear-inducing, I guess, as they are right now. I mean, right now I have absolutely no interest in playing any Clutch Time Online, any Unlimited. I mentioned in my video yesterday that I was looking forward to completing the 25th anniversary collection to get that Mike D'Antoni, and honestly now I'm very content with, you know, waiting these 2 additional weeks, letting these weeks kind of go through. You know, the new season starts the week that 2K comes back. 2K comes back the 8th, and then the new season starts whatever that Thursday is going to be, the whatever that is, the 11th, I guess, 11th or 12th. Season 4 is going to start, and I want to wait until at least then to play online, personally. I mean, like, not online in general. Like, I'll still play some TT online, I'll play some Clutch Time online, but in terms of like Unlimited, I just have no interest in playing it right now. Like, my team pales in comparison to the teams that people are going to have right now, and I'm just not in the mood to deal with that. So anyways, those are my thoughts. Just wanted to get those out. And yeah, if you engage with this exploit, more power to you. My only piece of advice would be, you know, obviously prepare for the worst, but just enjoy the team while you have it, man. And if you end up having it for the rest of the year, that's awesome. You know, I didn't engage with it because I was afraid. I just don't trust 2K. You know, the reason why I only put $10 per season into my team, which is for the Pro Pass, is because I don't trust 2K. Because of BS like this. Like, just being very honest, if I was someone who spent the $100 to $150 to get that Kobe Bryant, and I saw people get Kobe Bryant for free this morning because of a fuck up on 2K's behalf, I would probably not play this game mode at least for the rest of the season. I would not want to, because anytime I would fire up my team unlimited and I would see another team with the Kobe and the Wemby, even if that was all I saw beforehand in unlimited, because unlimited, like I said, is more of a sweaty mode than a casual mode. Just the fact that there was a chance that one of the people I was playing against would have gotten the players that I have on my team without having to spend the money would have frustrated me beyond belief. So very curious to see what 2K is going to do. I waited purposefully until after 5 p.m. because they dropped the Kuzma and Gobert locker code at 5 p.m. on December the 5th when they had the previous glitch. I didn't really expect them to do something similar this week or today I should say, because they're out of the offices this week and next week. So we'll see what they end up doing. Gun to my head, if I had to pick what they're going to do, I'm just going to say that I hope that they only wipe MT and collection from these accounts. I hope that they don't ban anybody. And if they're going to ban people, I hope they only ban these alternate accounts. That's it. So, yeah, that's all I got for you. Hope you enjoyed. Until next time, whenever that is, I'll see you later.